What's going on, beautiful people? Today we've got Ancelotti's 4-3-1-2 in its prime. This tactic scored over 4 goals a game and maintained a 97% win rate. We're going to test with former teams of Ancelotti today and maybe one extra if we're feeling like it. Let's get into it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for potentially one of the best managers in the world at the moment. Let me know in the comments, is he over Pep for you? I need to know. Let's get into it. So we're going to start off with the league, and as you can see, we enjoyed a fantastic season over in Spain with Madrid. Hala Madrid. We absolutely love to see it. 98 points to be exact, only losing 2 games. Vinicius Jr. with 35, and it is going to be Brahim Diaz with 24, a player underlooked in that Madrid team, in my opinion. Average rating, we're going to finish in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And when it comes to assists, we're going to pick up 1st and obviously joint 1st and 3rd place from Carvajal, Alaba, and of course the star man Vinicius Jr. Courtois picks up the most clean sheets as well, and stat-wise, we were something of an absolute miracle. Most points per game at 2.58, most goals at 135, most shots, the fewest shots against, the most dribbles being made, the fewest conceded, and the most clean sheets. We were absolutely remarkable, and even, considering we're not a possession-based team, even had quite a fair bit of the ball as well. So this is a real good sign. Absolutely incredible stuff. And if you feast your eyes on this, 3.55 goals a game, only 0.47, meaning you're going to be actually scoring roughly 3 more goals a game compared to what you are going to be conceding. That is unheard of. We love to be seeing that in a narrow system, especially. Over 19.6 shots a game, a great pass completion, and a fantastic tackle win ratio. It's absolutely nuts. Our second trophy this season was the Spanish Cup against Barcelona, which, to be fair, was actually quite a good game. As you can see, in 2-1 fashion, we make it 1-0 in 22 minutes from a great bit of play there, and actually go 2-0 up with Modric, which he absolutely levels it past Ter Stegen. We then do go on to concede in the 74th minute from just a good bit of Barcelona play, to be fair. Great from Araujo, but this is when I switched to the defensive variant and we sealed it out. And as you can see by the stats, we definitely deserved to win it. Not only did we do that, we also won the Spanish Super Cup final in 3-0 fashion over Barcelona again, so not too good if you're a Barcelona fan. Unfortunately, the Champions League, we get knocked out in the quarter-finals, but as a little secret, we were playing as them, so, you know, it goes through how good the tactic is. We beat the Madrid team, finally. Next up, obviously, a previous team of his is going to be AC Milan, a very fun team to play with, a team I don't usually test with enough, so got to definitely start using this a lot more because they've just got a really exciting team. We come out and absolutely dominate the Serie A with 93 points. 2nd place only having 79, 3rd place 77, and 4th place the last UCL spot, obviously with 70. Rafael Leao being the key talisman with just shy of 40 goals in the league alone. Theo Hernandez 7.88, Rafael Leao 7.66, and Giroud 7.58. So really good performers in the team. Hernandez 27 assists, and obviously Calabria there with 21, just showing how important your wing backs are going to be in this system. So make sure you've got good ones because you're going to need them. Now, team stats: most points per game, most goals over 130, over 700 shots, only 205 shots against us, fewest conceded in 3rd place on this occasion, and clean sheets actually in 8th place. So not as good defensively over in the Serie A, but because we went out and we scored so many, and I mean so many more goals than the other teams in the league, we were completely fine. And possession-wise, down in 7th place. Now, Data Hub, we are going to have a little browse at this. It is going to be 3.58 goals per game. Yes, we are going to be conceding 1.08, but obviously that is going to be way over 2 goals advantage per game still, which is very good. Over 18.9 shots, practically 19 shots a game, a very high pass completion, and a tidy and actually better tackle win ratio this occasion of 78.37. Now to the Italian Cup final where we played Inter Milan, and if you're an AC Milan fan, you're going to like parts of this game, let me tell you that, as we get it off to a banger of a start inside of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. 14 minutes on the clock now, Tomori playing it around the back, Theo Hernandez on the left-hand side, through into Pulisic, and you can see how easy we make it look in this beautiful 4-3-1-2 system, as we play it again so elegantly from the back into midfield through, and it's absolutely incredible. I can tell you now, I had so much fun making this Ancelotti tactic. If this video ever hits 100 likes, I will recreate his 4-2-2-2-2 he has also played this season, because I love Ancelotti, man. He's so refreshing to see. I love to see it. Absolute incredible play. Again, a great touch from Jovic there, and an even better finish. And at this point, it was 5-0. One more goal to come to wrap up the final 6-0 against a full strength and incredible Inter Milan team. It's dominance. And lastly, over to the best team in the video in terms of maybe the ease of the team. That is going to be Paris Saint-Germain, obviously over in Germany. We put on literally the perfect display. Winning 32 games, drawing 2, and losing 0 games. Making an invincible season, a 97% win rate season. Mbappe, Kolo Mane, and Kang In Lee literally dominated. I mean, 31 goals, 24 and 19, with first, second and third in the average rating, and obviously first and joint second when it comes to the most assists, first and second when it comes to player of the matches, and first place with the clean sheets, and first place for yellow cards. Can we take that? I'm gonna take it. It's literally for rank 1 for everything. I'm claiming the most yellow cards. I never thought I'd be saying that. Most points per game at 2.88, the most shots or the most goals at 139, over 690 shots, only 167 shots against us. Possession-wise, second place with 58% of the ball. Just going to show, depending on the league you're playing in, you can have really high levels of the ball still, even though it's not designed to do that in the default tactic. The fewest conceded and the most clean sheets. It's really, really a top tier display. Now, of course, going over to that wonderful data hub, 4.09 goals per game, 0.65 conceded, an 87% pass completion, and over 20.5 shots every single match. And we did play ourselves in that AC Milan final. As you can see now, it is going to be a 3-0 win, which we do like to see. Obviously, very good tactic, but the PSG team is just a little bit better than the AC Milan team, hence the scoreline. And as you can see, we got off to a flying start, 2-0 already, one more goal to come inside of 90 minutes played. It's very convincing, we'll say that. We also lift the Trophy de Champion in 7-0 fashion over Toulouse. Unfortunately, not winning the French Cup, as Monaco do turn up in that. But as you can see, it still is going to be a treble winning season, and one I'm pretty sure any fan would take. It's a very, very good season, and what a set of results this tactic has provided. Of course, if it's your favourite part of the video, the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying it, it would mean the absolute world if you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We are trying to grow the channel, and obviously any support means the absolute world. If you want to get all access to these free tactics in one simple download, you want them early, you want the console, the mobile version, you want priority in the requests, you want the rebuild files, you want priority in the rebuild requests, you want one-on-one tactical help, access to the £250 giveaway. You can come over to the Patreon, link is going to be in the description and on the screen as well, and you have seen all of the perks there in text, because there's so many I do genuinely forget. So let's go over and talk through the Ancelotti 4-3-1-2, one of many systems he has played this season. A goalkeeper is going to be set simply to defend, a fullback on the right. Now, I will stress this now, you need to make sure you've got good fullbacks in this system. For FM especially, more than real life influence, they're very important, because when you play a narrow system in FM, you bank so much on the fullbacks, as you do in real life, but it's sort of influenced heavily on FM. So a fullback on attack, on run wide and stay wider on the right, and exactly the same for the left hand side. Two ball playing defenders, or one ball playing defender, I am clearly blind, on the left hand side is going to be set to default, and a central defender on the right is going to be set to default. A nice balance. Obviously, the common sense thing to do is to make sure you've got the better passer on the ball, the more confident one on the ball in that ball playing defender role. I can see a comment coming saying, Josh, can I use two ball playing defenders? Yes, you can. This is just purely to recreate 100% realism, where I don't personally feel they play with two ball-playing defenders. On the right-hand side is going to be a Mazzala on support, on take more risks and dribble more. This is where Bellingham did play in the team, just to clarify that. Diaz got a lot of game time here, just for any questions there in that regard. A ball-win midfield player comes in on defend, on mark tighter, and a box-to-box, very important. You have these instructions, you need them getting further forwards, and you also need the mark tighter option. We then go with the Brahim Diaz role, or the Bellingham role, if you're feeling very saucy. That is going to be a shadow striker, simply set to the default, with 4 instructions already, so that is why we don't have more for the sake of it. An advanced forward on the right, simply set to attack, on stay wider, and exactly the same on the left hand side. This provides a lot of good width for the team. You saw in the highlights, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo off the ball were sometimes looking a little bit like wingers, and it's a lot easier to get the ball to them. They can take on players. We've seen it in real life, and it's just a really effective way of playing football. We've actually built this off a clean slate on the attacking mentality. We are going to go two fairly wide. We're going to pass into the space. We're going to focus to play through the middle. It makes sense to do so. We're going to play out from the back with a standard passing directness match with that higher tempo, be more expressive, and we are going to have work ball into the box. Now, if you do want to go a little bit more sort of you're less caring about where the ball ends up when you have these shots, you can remove this off, and it would influence more shots at goal, but obviously the chances aren't going to be as good a quality, so that might be something you decide to do if you're desperate for a goal, for example, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Transition a little bit to talk about, so nothing's going to be selected here. We are going to counter-attack them when we have got the opportunity, obviously a very counter-attack inspired theme, and we're going to play to anyone across the back line with no distribution type, and that is going to be a very simple but effective in transition. Out of possession, a little bit to talk about. We are going to go with the high pressing line of engagement. We are going to rock the higher defensive line. We're going to get stuck in, and we are going to max out the trigger press. To the attacking variant, to obviously go and get more goals if you need to do so, or you need to get back into a game, this is going to be a little key to do that. So the goalkeeper does remain the same. The fullback on the right and the left also remains the same. But as you can see, I have introduced two ball-playing defenders now, who are both going to be set to dribble more. Now, again, if you are playing in a team where you've got no one comfortable on the ball, do not have them as ball-playing defenders, and definitely do not have dribble more on. But if you are playing as a bit of a built-up team, you've got quite confident centre-backs, just having this on alone makes all the difference. The Mazzala on the right remains the same. The Mazzala on the left comes in to replace that box-to-box. So two very attacking options on the left and on the right. Obviously, on the right, he's going to be dribbling more. So again, the player with the better dribbling, the better sort of take-on ability, having that role there. A central midfield player on support, on take more risks and tackle harder. The shadow striker remains the same, as does both of the advanced forwards. So the big change is done through the midfield and obviously the centre-backs. Again, clean slate on the attacking once again. We're going to go to fairly wide. We're going to pass into the space. We're still going to play out from the back while focusing through the middle. But just to add a little bit of urgency, we're going to overlap left and we're going to overlap right with that standard directness, match with that wonderful higher tempo, be more expressive. And this is where it's optional. I personally did always have work ball into the box on. But if you just want to rip shots off at goal, you can take that off. In transition, we're obviously now going to have counter press on, a bit more urgency to get back into the game, so we are going to be pressing, we're going to counter, we're going to play it quickly, and we are still going to play it to anyone across the back line. So just a little bit more urgency. Out of possession, we are going to go with the high press, the higher defensive line, much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, we're going to get stuck in, and we're going to step up more. We love to see it. Now to defend those games out, obviously once you've got your goal, or you're trying to hold on for a point, whatever you're trying to do, or you're playing as a lower league team, this is going to be the gem for you. So the goalkeeper remains the same. The fullback on the right and the left both now drop to defend, so they're not going to have as an attacking influence, both on tackle harder and mark tighter. Both of the centre-backs are going to be a ball-playing defender on the left and a central on the right-hand side, the same as the default variant. A centre-mid on the right and the left are both going to be on pass it shorter and mark tighter, as the ball and midfield player comes back in as the default, set to mark tighter as well. We then scrap the shadow striker and introduce an attacking midfield player on pass it shorter, and both of the advanced forwards do remain the same. So what you're going to have here is a lovely sort of triangle shape where they are going to pass it about nice and short, dominate possession, probably not score as many goals, being 100% real with you, but you are going to have more possession and control of the game, which obviously is very important when you're trying to seal a game out, or if you're going in against a really top team and you're a smaller team, you want to have as much control as you can do so. Again, the clean slate this time, we're going to go down to positive, and we're going to keep this in the middle. We're going to pass into space while focusing through the middle again and playing out from the back. This occasion, we are going to go down to much shorter, a slightly lower tempo. We're going to add a fair few ings now. So we're going to go, the time wasting is going to go all the way up to, because we know Ancelotti's dirty side. He absolutely loves it. Now, I will say, if you are playing this with a lower league team and you're going into games, don't have the time wasted on. If you're defending games out, do have the time wasted on. Obviously, I can't drop another variant purely for that. We're going to play for set pieces, make sure you've got mine downloaded. We're going to dribble less, and we're going to be more disciplined, and we're going to work the ball into the box. Now, this is going to be a very low risk, not exactly loads of goals sort of vibe, but you are going to dominate the ball. You're going to be very frustrating to play against, and it is perfect for winding up any opposition. I'm going to go with counter press, slow the pace down, play into the fullbacks and the centre-backs, while this time taking short goal kicks. You might say, Josh, why are you pressing? It's not an aggressive tactic. It's not meant to be an aggressive tactic in the attacking element, but when we do lose that ball, I want to get it back as quickly as we can, so we can go back to being absolute dirtbags. And lastly, the defensive line is going to be set to standard. We are still going to have the high press line of engagement much more often, and get stuck in. And that's going to complete for you boys and girls 3 variants of the Ancelotti 4-3-1-2. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That was cringe, never doing that again. I'll be seeing you in the next one.